Welcome to the TIMFD podcast. Today is my favorite day is about appreciating every day as it comes, no matter what life throws at us. We hope this podcast speaks to you, and if it does, please like, share, and comment. Now let's find out why today is our favorite day this week.
All right, today is my favorite day. I'm here with Sam, and we are going to be asking a question today is basically this. What not to buy during the Christmas season?
Yep. Yeah.
I like buying things, though.
Yeah, I love buying. Hey, we talked about it. It gets that dopamine level. You go buy something and makes you feel good.
Especially if it's a deal.
If we think it's a deal. Yeah. If we thought we got a deal. And I have a story about a car that a buddy of mine bought. I'll tell you about one of these days.
All right. So we're not here to beat people up.
No, we're not here to beat people up.
Right. The goal is, we know that everybody spends, a lot of people spend during the Christmas season.
Right.
So here is the day that we just say, we know that dopamine jacks you up.
It does.
This is about, if you've already been doing this, how we can encourage you to say you're okay, and how can now we shift. Yeah. So what would be some things, Sam, because you got an article that's really funny.
I got an article here. It's got some really good things. So extended warranties on electronics. Okay. So we go and buy. Yeah. They do not buy. When was the last time you bought an extended warranty on electronic device and then used it?
I never have.
Right. And so, but they'll tell you, you go and you buy you can buy
we're not gonna bring up a company
on on a $20 toaster for $6.
That's dumb.
Insane. Totally.
No, we're not going to do that. Okay, so I see that. That's not. But most people aren't going to do that, I don't think.
No.
Really?
Oh no. There's a lot of people that do that, and a lot of people, the only time they actually use it is when they go to look up and find out it's not covered by water damage.
Okay, so we don't buy that. So, we don't do that.
Okay. Here's a big one. Store credit cards with discounts.
Oh, yeah. I'm not a big credit card guy.
No, me neither.
I have one credit card that I use. It's an American Express. I'm not supposed to say that, but I did it anyway. I use that and I pay it off every month.
Yeah.
Tanya and I, that's what we do. So it's to me, we're taking advantage of we get some of the perks from it, but we don't get put in. But you better be okay in where you are financially
to do that.
Do that, you gotta know that you gotta pay it off every month. Credit card debt stinks. So don't add that. Don't add to it.
But every big box retail store has it.
Of course, and they say you could have 20% off.
Yes, 20% off if you apply for a card today.
Correct.
And you will almost always get it with a $300 starter credit limit.
Oh wow!
And then, regardless of what your credit score is, and then 2-3 weeks down the road, you get a letter that says, David, we extended you $200 on your ABC store credit card.
I mean, look at
and
those
so
things.
what do? You run back out to ABC.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
And they offer and this was the quote, they'll be more than happy to offer you a 20% off on a $7 purchase of Santa Claus stocks if you just open a store credit card.
Yeah,
so
not good.
Please don't do that.
Not good.
Okay.
No. And I think that before we go any further, what we're talking about is some fun stuff, but also biblically, I'm going to read some scriptures and we'll go back to that. 1 Corinthians 4:2. Moreover, it is required of stewards that they be found faithful. We're stewards, which is managers.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Of God's resources that he gave to us. Doesn't matter how much we have. We've been given. It's been given by God.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to be good stewards of that. And that's why we're doing this, to be good stewards during the Christmas season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's not our money.
No.
It's not our job.
No. It's God's.
God
he gave it to us. Let us to manage it. Yep.
Right. So, for those of you who buy from Amazon or big box stores that get stuff shipped, plan ahead. Don't pay for overnight shipping.
No.
Now, there are some stores out there that, look at your accounts. How much did you, save on shipping by paying $100 a year for an account?
Yeah.
Did
you really look at that.
You really got to look at it, right? So plan ahead when it comes to overnight shipping. And here's the thing. What we're really talking about now, if you have something, I hate to use Amazon, but everybody uses Amazon, right?
Sure.
Most people have a Prime account. If you have that, watch it, because as you get closer to the holidays, the overnight shipping is not free.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so pay attention. And this is what we're talking about. If you haven't planned ahead enough to get stuff shipped into you in time for your Christmas gifts, then don't pay for overnight shipping. Gift wrapping services.
Oh, no, I like wrapping my own stuff.
I hate wrapping, but guess who gets it? And here's the thing. My wife.
I will never pay for someone wrapping a present.
Me neither.
Please don't do that either.
Yeah, please don't do that. My thought is they make these really nice bags, and they can be reused.
Yes, yeah.
And so you can re-gift.
But that's just one more extra thing we're adding to.
Right,
what else?
Holiday themed prepared foods.
Oh, again, that's extra stuff that adds to our expenses, right?
Decadent cookies, charcuterie plates. The grocery stores know what to do to entice us. I mean, they lay that stuff out there.
I mean, it's fun. Don't get me wrong if you want to get it. But the bottom line is whatever we're purchasing has to be within the means of our budget.
Right.
And if we're not staying within the means of our budget, then that's a problem. Right. What else do you have? Anything else?
So here's a biggie. And our children are grown.
Yeah.
But when we were little, what did we try to do? We tried to get them what they wanted. A lot of parents.
Sure.
So don't buy everything that's on the kids' list.
No.
And that's a big one. People we have a tendency to overdo it, and that will get you into some really good debt. Okay?
Well, and that's the thing. In Christmas time, don't go into debt.
Right.
As a matter of fact, Alex and I were talking about this as we were leaving from the office over there, coming over here to do this. He and I do the same thing. I don't know if you do it, but he and I do this where I put money aside throughout the year into an actual envelope. I know Alex doesn't put it into an envelope, right, Alex? No, you put it into your techie envelope.
Yeah,
I was going to joke. Another account, basically. I put it into an envelope, put it in the safe. And I probably should switch over to what he does. When he gets his program done, his budgeting program, I will do that. But what just a promo for him when he gets that done. But the bottom line is that that helps us when Christmas comes. It feels good that, we had the money, we could just pay for it, and we're not going into debt for this. And that started probably he's doing it so much more in advance than we ever did. Right. But I wish I knew about this when I was younger. But about 20 years ago, I started doing that.
My mom used to do they would have Christmas savings accounts. The banks would do that, and they had bonuses and stuff like that. And she would start planning and putting money in, and then she would have a large percentage of that money for Christmas. Sure. For the kids. You
know what my mom did as we got a little older? She literally said, David, this is this is how much money we're going to spend at Christmas for each of you. Okay. And she said, so, go and look to see what you would want, but it's going to stay in that. And I liked that. Right. And they explained it. It's because this is what we can afford. We don't want to go in debt. This is what we can afford. And I went, that's smart. Yeah. To me, it was smart. Plus, it made me kind of look for everything and try to find the best deals. And Dan and I, my brother and I, and our sisters are trying to find the best deal. I think that is a wise move. Another thing is we buy too many presents, and you just talked about what you guys are doing at your house, which is something that we have done. So tell me about that.
Yeah, we just went to the Secret Santa. Now
what does that mean?
The Secret Santa is you take everybody's name, put it on a piece of paper, put it in a hat, and you each draw out a name. That's what you buy for the family for Christmas.
Okay, so instead of for your family, 15 people. 15 people, you're buying for one.
One.
Correct?
Yeah. And
does that include the kids too?
That includes kids.
Awesome.
And so now we do have one little one, 5-year-old, 4-year-old, that, he will probably get.
So when he's talking kids, he's talking about adult kids.
Yeah,
so
I'm talking about adult kids.
Totally different here. When you have little guys, like you said, you're buying the presents for the little guys.
And you budget but if you budget for the little kids, then you can go out and get the things that they want and need and stuff like that. But when it comes to the adults in the house, because here's the thing, you can go broke. If you stop and, if I stop and think about buying for 15 people and then some extended family and things like that, here's the other thing to think about. This just came to my mind, Christmas cards.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of people send out and really love sending out Christmas cards. Yeah. If you really enjoy doing that and you've bought the cards over the course of time and you've prepared for it and you've budgeted for it and you budgeted for the postage and you bought forever stamps instead of fancy holiday gift stamps, right? Okay, fine. Here's another thing my grandmother did. My grandmother had a Christmas list, and she mailed out Christmas cards.
Okay.
If she got one back from you,
she took it off the list. You were on the list.
You were on the list.
Got it.
If she didn't get one back, you came off the list. And so,
that's funny.
When we were kids, it was one of those, there was always like a $5 bill in the Christmas card. So we obviously were smart enough to send Christmas
Send it back
cards
to Grandma.
back. But here's the thing. If you can take the time to sit down and think and to write out a Christmas card, maybe you can pick up the phone and say, hey, Bill, how you doing?
Yeah, talk to him.
Think about the difference between picking up that phone, because there's no long distance fees. There's none of that stuff that used to be there. And then you have people who go out and they get family pictures and specialized Christmas cards.
Yep.
Look, I'm not saying if that's what you do,
if they can afford it, if you can afford it, and if you put yourself in debt, it makes no sense.
If you're putting yourself in debt and you haven't planned for that throughout the year, then you really need to rethink it.
We did those kind of pictures years ago on the beach because they're in Florida.
Right.
You want to put the beach picture, but we paid for it in cash and we were done.
Yeah.
The issue is, and I think that's what we're getting to here, what not to buy for Christmas.
Right.
If you don't have the money, don't put yourself in debt. It's tough, and it could be depressing. So don't buy to try to get yourself out of the depressing mode that this was a tough year. This was a tough year financially for a lot of people.
Right.
I mean, I know it was for us.
Right.
And I know for many of you. But we don't need to put ourselves in such debt that we end up basically giving up our next year.
Yeah.
Because now we're in debt and we're having to try to pay that off, add stress. And the number one month that I have found over the years where the marriage stresses are the most, that I get the most in my office, is February. And it's that second month after Christmas when everybody sees the bills.
Yes.
And they're going, oh my gosh, what have we done? Or, oh my gosh, what have you done?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so we need to be careful about what the things we don't need to go out and purchase if we don't have the money. Another thing is to don't go out and purchase something to buy someone's love. Right. Not a good thing. It's not scriptural for one, but it doesn't work. Right. It just doesn't work. Another thing that we probably wouldn't want to go out and purchase is a large item, a car. There's a lot of deals out there. I'm not saying that car people don't get upset at me here. Right. If you have planned it, you've done your research, you've looked, and you know exactly what you're looking for. Now you go during the Christmas season where they're going to give you the best deals they can. Great deals,
great financing, all that kind of stuff.
You're being a wise person.
Yes.
But if you're going because you want to feel good and it's, I see the commercials and they have these big bows on the car.
Big bow on the car.
Wouldn't that be cool to put out on a Christmas morning? Yeah. And then you realize, what have I done? I have an $800 car payment a month, and you're wondering how you're going to deal with it. Yeah. Don't do that.
So here was
another one is traveling.
Yes.
If you can't afford the travel, don't travel. I had to go out to California and to go see my brother. His health was not going well. That money that we were going to use to go to St. Augustine for Thanksgiving, I didn't do it because we could not
do both.
Justify that. And so you just have to be wise on that. So we did we stayed here.
There are so many places you can go around. If you look at your own community, there are so many places you can go to do things.
A lot of Christmas things and a lot of fun stuff
like that. But here's probably the number one thing that people will overspend on this time of the year.
What is it?
Exercise equipment.
Really?
Really.
And they'll get new memberships to clubs.
New gym memberships, because it'll come through they've started to overeat in Thanksgiving. So they put on a few pounds. And it's wintertime, and so it's cold. So they're not getting outside. They're not doing the things. They put on a few new pounds. And then you'll start seeing, and I don't know if you've noticed any of the new Peloton ads and stuff like that.
Of course, they're always out there.
It's all over out there, and how much, the way they play on all the exercise equipment.
Well, and you want to make a New Year's resolution.
Yes.
And instead, how about the New Year's resolution is not to buy any equipment. First thing is, will you be disciplined enough to go walk outside?
Right.
If you're disciplined to do that on a regular basis, and maybe do push-ups, sit-ups, dips at home, you could do that all off a chair.
Off a chair.
You literally do them off a chair. after you've got that going and you're doing that for, let's say, I would say at least 2 months.
At least,
just
60
doing
to 90
that,
days.
Yeah, just doing that. Then if you're in a place financially and you want to go and get a membership of a club where you're already used to doing this and you're not wasting your money, because a lot of people buy the thing, do the club for about 2 days and then never go back again.
And they're in a 2-year contract.
They're not in that, and they're paying for it. And so, be wise.
Right.
Don't put unrealistic expectations.
Right, exactly.
Right? Let's do some realistic ones.
I listened to a comedian, Jeff Allen. He's a Christian. He's really kind of funny, but he said we have a cycle machine. What are they called? But
a recumbent bike or something.
Yeah, something like that. He says it's got about 10 miles on it, but most of that is from the kids flipping the wheels around, right? And the rest of it is a great clothes hanger.
And that's the problem. So I again, get into a habit of doing some sort of exercise that doesn't require a gym, doesn't require any equipment.
Yes.
You could get a chair and you have your shoes and you walk.
Yep.
One thing I would suggest, if you're going to go out and start walking and you've never done it before, here's a guy who's been in athletics all my life. Okay. So what I would suggest is go get if you're going to buy anything, buy a good pair of walking shoes or running shoes that will protect your body. If there's any investment you're going to do that, pay it in cash, so raise up the funds before you do that. And during the Christmas season, just so you know, I buy all my running shoes during the Christmas season every year. Now, I had such a deal last year and I paid it all in cash. I was able to get some stuff from Adidas, a particular shoe that is perfect for me. And it's a very expensive shoe, normally about $160, $170. Well, I'm never going to pay that. But I went back after Christmas, had my money, waited, went onto their websites doing their last little, sales for the year and looked to see if they had my size.
Right.
And on that particular shoe, they had 3 different colors, all my size. I bought all 3 of them, and I bought them for less than $150 for all 3.
Oh, wow.
And so I saved money because I had the money set aside. I had a good amount of money waiting to buy those shoes. So if you're going to do anything when it comes to exercise, get that and then get used to doing it very calmly, but be regular. And the minute you do that, go if you want to get a membership at a gym, just make sure it's in your budget.
Yeah. And the thing is like David said, if you're going to do that, start now.
Yeah.
Start walking now.
Yeah.
Doing the things right now.
Don't let them talk you into stuff.
Yeah. Don't pay any attention to the ads and the sales and stuff like that. We can all get sucked in by the ads. We all have it some from time to time.
Yes.
But David, what's that scripture again about being a good steward?
It says 1 Corinthians 4:2, moreover is required of stewards or managers of God's money that they be found faithful. So whatever you do, this is in Colossians 3:23, whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men, and that includes doing our budgets.
Yes.
Right? And as each of us have received a gift, this is 1 Peter 4:10, use it to serve one another as good stewards of God's varied grace. We can't do it if we're in total debt.
No, we can't.
So just think about that as you're going into the Christmas season.
Think about something that we're going to offer here at the church here come the first of next year. Alex Korn, our producer, and myself are going to put on a financial freedom masterclass about 5 weeks. And we will get into budgeting. We'll go over, it'll go over the middle of 1 month into the middle of the next month. So we have a full budgeting time in there. But think about that. If you don't do a budget, you're not living on a budget, then you don't know where your money's going.
Yeah, and we're not going to do a budget thing here. It's about getting into one.
Right,
and if you don't live in this area, because I know we have people that watch us from different parts of the country, there are different organizations around you all the time, and there's churches that will have these kind of programs. It won't be this one specific because this is specific to them, but they will have programs. Do it. There's obviously there's a bunch of different ones out there, but
there is.
You know, the big thing is just to be organized.
Just to be organized. Yep. So we've come to the end of our time here, David. We're getting close to Christmas.
Getting closer, and enjoy your days. Enjoy the moments.
Enjoy the time.
Go out and find the free things.
Yep.
The free stuff that's out there in your community. Do some walks outside. Look at lights, and try not to put yourself in mega debt. Right. And if you're going to spend money and you have kids, just be wise and give yourself a budget.
Yep.
And then my suggestion is that starting in in January, that you've already set up your budget, that you're going to put some money aside for Christmas, and you put it into an envelope or put it into your online envelope and leave it alone and just put it in there.
Yep.
And even if it's a little bit, you'll really enjoy it at the end of the year because you'll be able to go, well, at least we have some money to pay for some of these.
Yeah.
And the goal is to have all the money to pay for everything.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Well, $10 a week is going to be close to $600.
Yes.
It just is.
It's hard on the discipline.
Yes.
But boy, if we do it, you end up with the money you need to do it.
Yeah. So this has been David Towner, Sam McKeown. Today is our favorite day.
Yes,
Today
it
is
is.
my favorite day. Live intentionally, be very blessed. We'll see you next week.
Don't overspend.
Thank you for listening to TIMFD. Today is my favorite day. Views, comments, and opinions are those of the host and guest alone, and Dave and Sam are solely responsible for the content of this podcast. TIMFD is produced and directed by Alex Korn. Music is composed and performed by Chuck Ball. Thank you for listening. Have a great day, live intentionally, and be very blessed.